Hello, everyone. How are you today? Happy January. We're getting ready for a snowstorm that is about to come this weekend. It's supposed to be pretty bad. That's January for you. So today I really wanted to talk about accelerated healing and how it isn't a red flag, it's a gift, and talk a little bit about why people question it. Um, I'm so happy today. Um, Woke up every day. So, as you know, if you've been following my journey, I'm on my own accelerated healing journey, which has been absolutely amazing and wonderful. You know that I'm a big believer on if you put out positive energy, what you believe internally is what you put out. So, if you are internally thinking negatively and putting out negative, you're going to attract negative back to you. If you are uh, putting out positivity and internally feeling positive, you get it attracted back. Since I've been on my accelerated healing journey, all of these wonderful things have been happening. I just found out today that I am going to be a keynote speaker at the University of Massachusetts in Boston for a big conference. So I'm so excited. I'm so filled with love, and I'm so ready to talk about how you can accelerate your own healing journey so that you start manifesting positive things into your life. All right. So, as you know, my name is Janora. I am the founder of the Self Care Network and the creator of the Purple Elephant Framework. And today we are naming something that people whisper about, but they rarely understand. So, what happens when you heal faster than people expect? And what happens when you heal faster than what people are comfortable with? So, in relationships, they doubt it. In families, they question it. But in organizations, accelerated healing is treated like a risk factor instead of a competitive advantage. But here's the truth: accelerated healing is not a red flag, it is evidence of alignment and awareness and readiness. It is one of the greatest leadership assets of the next generation. So I want to talk about why. So some people, they heal slowly, and a lot of times that healing process is slow because they are negotiating with their wounds. They're just not ready, right? They're not ready to elevate out of that mindset that something is wrong internally and something needs to be fixed. And then you have some people that heal fast because they finally decided that they were going to stop suffering. They wake up and they're like, you know what? I cannot continue to live my life like this any longer. I'm ready to acknowledge that there is a problem. I'm ready to acknowledge that I am part of that problem and I'm ready to do something about it. And so the speed of your healing has nothing to do with time, and it has everything to do with identity. And so when your identity shifts, your behavior starts to change, your boundaries change, your thinking changes, your leadership and the way that you manage people and the way that you lead teams, that changes. Your whole life shifts. But to people who only understand healing through struggle, your clarity is starting to look suspicious to them, right? Your peace looks like denial. Your strength is looking like avoidance. Your awareness looks like, oh, you're rushing, but you are not rushing. You are awakening, something that I love to call quantum healing. So, people can question the pace of your evolution. Um, they're not the work, not the insight, not the alignment, just the speed, right? Because they haven't seen your journey. And so they ask, are you sure you're not moving too fast? And that can touch a deep wound for a lot of people, where people can say, oh my God, do people even believe that my growth is real? And then that wound shows up everywhere. So when you stop overworking and suddenly they're questioning your dedication, or when you regulate your emotions and people think you're, acting brand new, or that it's fake or it's just temporary, and when you stop performing and they think that maybe you're disengaged, or when you evolve, they say, oh, we'll see if this lasts. People who don't trust themselves will always distrust your transformation, because your evolution forces them to confront their own stagnation. And so let's break down what quantum healing actually is. I've used quantum healing in my journey, and it has been a godsend. Mind you, my journey has been going on now for the last 20 years, but I've healed now, right? And so when I say journey, I mean there are certain behaviors, and I talk about this in my last video. There are certain attachment styles, trauma behaviors that we develop from when we are children within our own family dynamics that cling to us like static cling and follow us into every interaction that we have with people throughout our lives. And so you can be living through that trauma, through that attachment style for 20 something years, right? And people they haven't been on that 20-year journey with you, right? They haven't been there through the different pains and lessons and things that you've gone through. And what happens when someone quantum shifts is that they've decided, okay, I am no longer staying in this negativity. I'm no longer staying in this force field. I've been in it long enough. I realize that it's not serving me, and I am ready to leap out. And they leap out. And so, quantum healing, many many people use the word without understanding the mechanics behind it. So, quantum healing is identity level rewiring, nervous system recalibration, it's attachment pattern interruption, it's dissolving your trauma loops, integrating psychology, coming into this like energetic coherence. It's basically, in a nutshell, it's when your body and your mind and your intuition and your spirit all decide at the exact same time, we are not doing this anymore. We are not staying on this path anymore. We are going to evolve. We are going to heal. So, quantum healing isn't fast, quantum healing is precise. It doesn't skip steps, and it eliminates unnecessary ones. And so here's the secret: quantum healing feels sudden only to people who weren't there for all the silent battles that prepared you for the breakthrough. They may have been there for just some of the battles, but not all of the battles, right? Because collectively, we, our experiences is our entire life. So when people say your healing is too quick, what they're really saying is, I didn't witness the internal war that you fought to get here, so I don't trust it. And that's on them. That's not on you. So here's why people don't trust accelerated healing. One, your evolution is challenging their excuses. Your transformation is making it harder for them to justify staying stuck. um they start looking at themselves and they're like, wait a minute, why is this person healing so quickly and I'm still stuck in all these attachment styles and all of this trauma that I just can't get past, right? So now they're like, I feel like the mirror is being shown on me. Also, they confuse comfort with truth. So your new boundaries feel like abandonment to people who benefited from your lack of them. They need time to believe in themselves. And so they assume that you need as much time as they need too. And they also fear that if your healing is real, then they have no reason to hold on to their wounds. And your healing disrupts their emotional dynamic that they were comfortable with. And healed you is unpredictable to people who depend on you being broken. And so organizations, they operate in timelines. They operate under quarterly goals, 12-month development plans, 18-month culture shifts, 5-year strategy cycles. But humans, like us as human beings, we do not evolve on corporate calendars. We don't evolve on any type of calendar, right? And this is where organizations struggle. And so, like, let me break this down with precision. The workplace trusts progression, but they don't necessarily trust transformation. They trust the 10-step plan, but not the breakthrough moment. Leaders who heal fast disrupt emotional hierarchies. Every healed leader destabilizes at least one person who relied on their wounded version. And teams that shift rapidly threaten those that are invested in the dysfunction. Some people love living in dysfunction. So healing threatens people who benefit from chaos. And HR is trained to spot patterns, not quantum leaps. So when somebody truly transforms, the system doesn't have any language for it at all. And organizational culture is often built around shared wounds. So when one person heals, the culture has to reorganize. A regulated leader forces a regulated team. A healed supervisor forces healed communication. And an aligned employee forces aligned expectations. So accelerated healing changes the ecosystem. And that is why people react. So this is, quantum healing in real leadership environments looks like a leader who avoided conflict now can address issues calmly and quickly. And if you notice, that can translate very easily into your personal life too. Maybe you're a person who avoided conflict, and now you're like, nah, I'm good with conflict, okay? Because I can stay regulated within myself. Um, Also, too, a supervisor who used to micromanage, all of a sudden they can suddenly quantum leap and start trusting their team. An employee who froze under pressure can quantum leap and now respond with clarity. A CEO who lived in burnout recognizes the exhaustion as a trauma pattern and not a requirement. Or a team that used to run on chaos stabilizes because someone in the system finally healed. And so the organization can say, let's wait 6 months to see if this is real. But no, it is real today because healing is not linear, it is neurological. And so the same can apply individually as well. We as individual people, if intuitively, when we get our spirit, our brain, our emotions, everything all aligned, we quantum leap. And the way that we reacted to things before, the way that we view things before completely changes. So, this is the heart of my work, and it's the foundation of my upcoming book that I'm writing. I'm so excited about it. It's called The Purple Elephant Quantum Level Healing Rewiring the Self Beyond Time, Trauma, and Logic. And so, when I walk into an organization, I am not looking at surface behavior, I am scanning for attachment styles, nervous system triggers, emotional hierarchies, trauma coded communication, unspoken resentment cycles, identity conflicts, and suppressed intuition. These are the purple elephants that are running the culture in organizations. And so when you name the purple elephant, healing accelerates. Awareness collapses timelines and truth speeds up that transformation. And so that's when quantum healing begins. Um, I once worked with a senior leader who shifted her entire communication style in under 30 days. And it wasn't because she rushed through it, it's because she finally understood what the root wound was that was driving her behavior. And here's a hint: the root wound is not another person, okay? It's yourself. We all have root wounds, and we need to stop looking externally and we need to look internally. So the executives, right, when she did this miraculous healing in 30 days, they were like, yeah, right, let's see if this sticks. And that's just another way of saying we don't trust breakthroughs because we never experienced ones ourselves. Which, if you haven't gone through a breakthrough, You need to go through one. It is life changing. And I felt the same doubt recently in my own life, but accelerated healing doesn't need permission to be real. It just needs readiness. You just have to be ready to get there. So, accelerated healing, when you heal fast, you stop negotiating with your boundaries. You stop explaining your worth. You stop abandoning yourself to maintain harmony. You stop tolerating emotional immaturity. You stop repeating the same negative story over and over again. You stop carrying the emotional labor for everyone else. And people say, "What is going on?" Right? Like, who do you think you are? Well, you know who you are. You're exactly who you were always meant to be. Quantum healing doesn't create a new you, it just restores the real you. And so this is the foundation of the new book I'm writing. Because here's what I'm seeing in myself and in leaders and in teams that I work with. Healing does not always move in a straight line. Sometimes it moves like a collapse. Sometimes it moves like a jump. Sometimes you shift in a week. Sometimes you shift in a month, because something finally is clicking at the identity level, not the information level. And so this book is for people who know that they are transforming faster than traditional models can explain. And people whose healing is not just intellectual, it's energetic, it's embodied, it's behavioral, it's neurological, it's spiritual. And it's for people who are not interested in managing symptoms for 10 more years. It's for people who are not interested in being stuck for another 10, 15 years. This is for people that want to rewire the root cause and get into alignment. And so, if this episode is hitting you, just know that this is only chapter one. I have so much more to talk about. Everything that I talk about is something that I've personally been through. It's my own journey. I love sharing my journey with everybody. I feel that how can you be authentic and genuine if you're not letting people know, hey, this is something that I've been through? And when I went through my own quantum jump, just the weight that fell off of my shoulders, it's just the relief. And it's like everything in my life just changed. Like all of these positive things just started being drawn towards me with my business and career, everything. So this is the era. 2026, as I say, is the era of alignment. So if this resonated, if you've ever been doubted or questioned or underestimated in your own healing journey or in your leadership or in your evolution, I want you to stay close to this channel. This is the era of quantum level transformation. And you, my elephant, you are leading it. So I will talk to you again in the next video. Thank you. Bye bye.